Have you ever read your daily horoscope and just wondered, how do they actually come up with this stuff? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain and deconstruct one. We're using the Kismat daily forecast for February 18th, 2026 to see exactly how they go from a huge cosmic event all the way down to specific advice about your job or your money. Let's dig in.
So, right off the bat, the forecast grabs your attention with this big, intriguing question. It immediately frames the day as something special, not just another day of the week. It makes you lean in and think, okay, what's happening today that's so important? And there it is. This is the core claim, the big idea that the entire forecast is built on. The message is clear. Today isn't just a regular Wednesday. It's like hitting a cosmic reset button. But of course, the big question is, why? What's the astrological reasoning for a statement like that?
All right, so here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll look at what this new cycle is all about. Then, we'll get into the specific planetary ingredients that are in the mix for the day. After that, we'll see how those ingredients get turned into predictions for all the zodiac signs, and we'll even check out a practical tool the forecast offers. And finally, we'll wrap it all up with the key takeaways.
Okay, Section 1, the new cosmic cycle. So what exactly is this thing? This right here is the foundation, the single big idea that's going to color all of the advice that follows.
Well, the reason they give is actually pretty simple, and it's all about symbolism. See, Aries is the very first sign of the zodiac. It's the starting line. So when the moon moves into Aries, it's presented as a powerful new beginning, a theme for a total fresh start. On to Section 2, the day's celestial setup. A new cycle is a great start, right? But the forecast doesn't stop there. It adds more layers to the story. So let's look at the other key planetary players that are supposedly shaping the day's unique energy. Okay, so here things get a bit more specific. The forecast brings in this concept from Vedic astrology called a nakshatra. It says the moon is in the Ashwini Nakshatra, which is connected to these divine physicians. And just like that, a whole second theme, healing, gets woven into the day's main story of new beginnings. All right, so let's put all the pieces on the table. We've got Wednesday, which is ruled by Mercury, the planet of intellect and communication. We have the moon in Aries, which signals new beginnings. That moon is in the Ashwini Nakshatra, bringing in that theme of healing. And to top it all off, there's a conjunction of Mercury and Mars, which is said to make people fearless and clever. These are the building blocks for everything that comes next.
So, Section 3, Forecasts for the Zodiac. We've got our main themes, new beginnings, healing, and some clever, fearless communication. Now, for the interesting part, how does a forecast take those big, general ideas and spin them into specific, personal advice for each of the 12 zodiac signs?
And this is where you can really see the technique at play. The forecast takes the day's general energy and creates two totally different outlooks. For Leo, it's all green lights, luck, travel, blessings. But for Virgo, it's the complete opposite. Be careful, don't trust anyone, keep secrets. This is how a single set of cosmic data gets filtered to produce advice that can feel highly personalized and, as you can see, often completely contradictory. And it gets even more dialed in by targeting different parts of your life. So for Gemini, the advice is all about income. For Cancer, it zooms in on career. Libra gets tips on partnerships, and for Pisces, it's all about their finances. This is what makes that broad celestial information feel like it's speaking directly to you and what's happening in your day-to-day life. Moving on to Section 4, a tool for mental power. Now, this is a really smart move. Beyond just telling you what might happen, the forecast gives you something you can do. It provides an actionable tool, which gives you a sense of control, a way to actively harness the day's supposed energy. So the source offers what it calls a Wazifa, which is a devotional practice. And this one is specifically for mental power. Notice how that ties right back to the day's ruling planet, Mercury, the planet of the intellect. The steps are super clear and prescriptive, laying out a sequence of recitations that are meant to, according to the forecast, sharpen your mind. And that brings us to our final section, the day's key takeaways. So, after all of that, what's the bottom line? What are the main messages you're supposed to carry with you throughout the day? Let's pull all these threads together. All right, let's boil it all down. The day is all about new beginnings. That's the main headline, thanks to the moon entering Aries. It's also a chance for healing old wounds, which comes from that Ashwini Nakshatra influence. Clever and fearless communication is a big theme because of the planets involved. All of this is then funneled down into super specific advice for each sign, and then it's all capped off with a practical spiritual exercise. So, this really leaves us with a final thought. By breaking this forecast down, we can see a clear formula at work. You start with a big, sweeping, cosmic theme. You add a few secondary layers of meaning, and then you filter all of that through the zodiac to create advice that feels like it was written just for you. It's a pretty fascinating structure, isn't it? One designed to take the vastness of the cosmos and turn it into a personal guide for your day.